Welcome to gentle stretching and yoga for pickleball. Standing with your feet shoulders width apart, put your weight on one foot and rotate the other ankle 5 times in a circle in one direction and then reversing directions. Switch feet, same thing with the other ankle, 5 circles in one direction and then switching directions. Next, place both feet solidly on the mat, standing straight, 5 large arm circles with one arm and reversing directions. Other arm, 5 large arm circles and then reversing direction. Next, neck rolls. With whatever size circle feels comfortable for you, roll your head through the 360 degrees it can rotate. Finding any kinks, feel free to roll back and forth to work the kinks out. When you're ready, reversing directions. Next, beat the drum, swinging your arms from side to side, coming in contact with your front and back, flexing your knees as you swing. Now raising your head, arms above your head, and folding over for a gentle fold, allowing your hands to touch the mat or rest on your shins or knees. Bending your knees and sweeping your hands back up above your head. Lower your hands to your side, and again, raising your hands overhead for a slightly deeper fold, reaching for your shins or for the floor. Take a couple breaths here, allowing your head to hang forward. This time, reverse swan dive back up with your hands above your head and to your sides. And one more time, raising your hands above your head and folding in for a slightly deeper fold as you find your edge and hold it for 3 breaths. Feel free to grab the back of your legs. Now lifting your back, straightening your back flat, and bending back down for the full fold. Again, feel free to grab the back of your legs and pull for extra stretch. We're taking 3 breaths here. One more breath. Place your hands on the mat, bend your knees, and step back into a push-up position, plank position. Push your heels towards the back of the room for a calf stretch. Feel your fingers and palms solidly on the floor. Lower your butt. Take 3 full breaths here. Lower yourself gently to the ground with your elbows as close to your sides as possible. Pointing your toes, lifting your hands off the ground. Inhale, and then lowering lowering back down, exhale, baby cobra. Inhale your toes off the mat and exhale back down, baby cobra again. And for the final and third baby cobra, lift your toes and hands off the mat and then push back into downward dog. Feeling your hands and feet pushing into the mat, your chest moving towards your knees. Your heels can be off the ground or on the ground, and your knees can be straight or they can be bent. Lowering your knees wide to the edge of your mat, bend into child's pose with the hands extended as far forward as possible. For a gentle side stretch, walk your left hand towards your right hand, lifting your forehead off of the mat and placing it back down. Lower your outside elbow to the mat, and you should feel a good stretch through your rib cage. Taking a couple of breaths here, and then walking your hands to the other side, lifting your forehead and placing it back down on the mat, reaching forward as far as you can, and lowering the outside elbow to the mat for a good stretch on the other side of your rib cage. We're taking 2 breaths here and then walking our hands back forward, lifting into a tabletop position where you have 4 secure legs on the ground. Now, exhaling the back up into cat position and exhaling the back down into the cow position. Cat, cow. Moving your hips first, then your back, then your neck, then your head. Hips first, then your back, then your neck, then your head. And lowering back down into cow one more time. From the flat tabletop position, lift your right arm and place it back on the floor. Inhale your left arm up and place it back on the floor. Now inhale your right arm and left leg up and place them back down on the exhale. And inhale your right arm and your right leg, your left leg, and place them back down on the floor on the exhale. 3 times, lifting, alternating arm and leg, lifting on the inhale, lowering on the exhale. Reaching forward with your arm and your reaching back with your foot. Roll your toes under, push up with your hands into another downward dog. Again, your heels can be on the ground or off the ground. Your knees can be flexed or they can be straight. From the downward dog position, step forward on an exhale for a low lunge, placing your hands flat on the mat and looking forward. Try to straighten your back leg or place your knee on the ground. 3 breaths. Place your knee on the ground, sit up, and counter stretch, leaning back, looking at the ceiling, leaning forward, hands back to the mat, stepping back to plank and up into downward dog. And again, a lunge with the other foot, stepping as far forward as is comfortable for you, straightening the back leg, and once again the back leg can be straight or placed the knee on the ground. After 2 solid breaths here, the counter stretch involves placing your knee back on the ground, walking your hands back, and lifting the chest, looking at the ceiling, hands above your head, and back down to the mat. Lift the back leg, bring the legs together, and back to downward dog. This is a good calf stretch if you can get your heels moving towards the mat. Back to your knees, cross your ankles and sit back on the mat. Sitting cross-legged, lift your chest and take a deep breath. Hands above your head, lean forward, placing your hands on the mat as far as is comfortable for a hamstring stretch. On the inhale, reach a little further, and on the exhale, sink deeper into the pose. Again, reaching forward on the inhale and sinking deeper into the stretch on the exhale. Feeling this in your hamstrings, lower your chin to your chest for a back stretch as well. Gently walk your hands along the mat, raise your hands above your head, and turn to the side, one hand behind you, the other hand on your knee. Lift your chest on an inhale and look at the back of the room on an exhale. Hands up, hands to your chest, and again, lifting the hands above, the hands popping apart as you turn to the side, one hand in front on your knee, one hand behind. Inhale your chest up and out as high as you can. Exhale, look behind you. One breath here. Hands above again as you turn back to center. Both legs extended. One ankle lifted over the other leg. The extended legs matching arm wraps around your knee and pull your leg towards your chest for a piriformis stretch. This gentle piriformis stretch relieves tension on your lower back. After 3 breaths here, use your ankle to help your leg back over and switching legs by grabbing under your knees and lifting your ankle over the other leg again, wrapping the corresponding arm around your knee, and gentle piriformis stretch on the other side. The piriformis connects the lower back and the upper leg and will relieve tension on your back. Gently release the pose by lifting your ankle over your leg. Move one leg to the outside edge of the mat, the other foot tuck inside. Extend your arms forward. For an upper back stretch, tuck your chin to your chest. Release the pose by placing your hand on the mat and helping yourself up. Help your feet into the reverse position. Lifting your chest on an inhale. Exhale, fold forward and reach for your foot or your shin, keeping the lordosis in your back. When you're ready, lower your chin to your chest for an upper back stretch. Three full breaths here, stretching your hamstring, keeping your toes extended or flexed, keeping your toes flexed. Lift your knee, put your soles of your feet together, thumbs on the soles of your feet, fingers wrapping over your feet. Inhale your chest up. Lean forward to a comfortable position without curling your back. Use your elbows to press on your calves to accentuate the stretch. And again, we don't want to curl the back. We do want to put our chin down tightly against our chest for a good upper back stretch, right down the middle of the back. Help your knees back up to the center and gently, using your elbows, lower yourself to your back. Here we want to lift one knee, placing the sole of the foot on the mat, and inhale the opposite arm towards the ceiling. Bring your knee and your hand together, lifting the sole of your foot off the mat and pushing your knee to its opposite side. Extend that arm and look to the hand for the full twist. Taking a couple of long, deep breaths here. Use your hand to push your knee back to center. Just gently switching legs with your hands placed on your chest. Left knee is facing the ceiling, so right hand will reach for the ceiling. Right hand to left knee as the left foot comes off the mat. Twisting by extending that left arm out and looking at your left hand to complete the twist. After 2 long breaths, gently move your hand to the other side of your knee and ease yourself back to center position, hands to your chest. Both knees up. And on an inhale, extend the arms and legs fully, and in an exhale, bring the knees towards the chest, holding your shins. And again, inhale to the full extension, pointing your toes, pointing your hands, and exhale, fully grabbing your knees with your arms, giving yourself a big hug, and rocking from side to side for a nice low back massage. When you're ready, extend one more time, and this time, happy baby is where you grab the bottoms of your feet, feeling the stretch in your groin, and rocking back and forth like a happy baby. You can use your knees against the mat to push yourself back and forth. Releasing this pose, extend the feet and the arms flat onto the mat. Palms facing up, shoulders lowered away from your ears. 5 long breaths here. Raise your hands, place your palms to your forehead. Thank yourself for taking care of yourself, and thank you for joining me. May your pickleball be wonderful.